Well, I'm happy to say that TAPIO is now finally raising sails and will very shortly be sailing off the mooring and on his way to Cape Horn. It's taken a bit longer than we all expected. We've been in this boat now for nearly 11 hours. It's quite a funny day for us. Anyway, we arrived and he had a few things to do. And one of those tasks was to go up the mast, and he discovered a few little issues while he was up there, which required him to go up and down a couple of times. He serviced everything, which took some time, and taped everything and did the pins and all the rest of it. But while he was up there, very importantly, he found that the snap shackle attaching the Yankee, that's the outer sail and the roller furling, to the swivel, that's the big black thing at the top that's lifted by the halyard, that shackle holding the sail on had actually come undone, and had that completely released, so it was hooked up even though it was open, the jaws were open. He could have been in real trouble, he could have lost the sail, so that was a good thing. So he did a repair on that, and after an hour or so, hour and a half up the mast doing all sorts of things, came down and decided it was easier then to lower the sail, take the sail off, and actually then do the shackle properly down on deck. But the temporary repair he'd done at the top, or an addition to what he was planning to do, stopped him from dropping the sail. Long story. So then he had to gear up, and he was quite tired then because he went hand over hand up the mast. He has a brake on his bosun's chair, so if he slipped or dropped, he would still be attached. But it was quite physically a lot of work. Went to do all that. So by the time we got down, he's a bit buggered, needed a break, had lunch, spoke to his wife, did some other jobs, went back up, did all that, got it tidied. We had to do one interview for the doco because Jesse and Tina weren't on board when he arrived, and lo and behold, it's now 6:30 here in the evening, so the wind's dropped off a bit and he's about to get going. Quite happy to be here. He said it's a disruption to the rhythm that you get when you're at sea, all those days and all that time, but nonetheless he got to see people, he got to have a few laughs and talk, and dropped up his films and letters, so they'll be going back. Managed to do a more or less a Skype session, did a Skype session with his wife, and the family were in on that as well, which is exactly the same as when Sir Robin went to New Zealand and had a journalist reporter open all his family letters and read them to him, because he wasn't able to accept the letters on board. So Jane held the iPad while TAPIO was able to have a look at the family and catch up on all the news and best wishes from loved ones and so on. So he feels totally refreshed. Had a great sleep last night. He actually said he got a huge amount of sleep and feels quite refreshed, but he's now very much looking forward to going to sea and actually getting far enough offshore so he can have a good sleep. That winch handle he just dropped in there, you probably so it's CA picks it, grabs the middle of it. It's got a catch to unlock it when it goes in the winch. He lost one during the voyage. First time he's ever lost a winch handle, and he thinks that while the Harken handle is good, it's too easy to knock it with a rope or something like that, and that's why he thinks it might have gone over the side. So there's not a lot of breeze right now, it's a bit of a drift, so it's just going to be a slow sail out through the Derwent out into Storm Bay, and then he's on his way again. So that's kind of very exciting for him, very exciting indeed. Yep, he's underway, he's dropped the anchor buoy. I think he'll be doing okay. Yep. Very low boat in the water. He himself calls it his sailing submarine, but he loves his boat. Yeah, the anchor. Still got the anchor buoy hooked up on the. It's going down now. There it is. It's going down. It's on the wrong side. Oh, bummer. Well, it's going down. The anchor buoy's going down. It's going down under the keel. As long as it doesn't pop up on the wind vane, you'll be right.
No, it's through.
Oh, it's through. That's okay. Yep, it's on the other side. Perfect. So, it's underway. Jesse's about to launch the drone, but I'm not sure when. So he's back on shore. It's easy to take off and land there. Haven't got much power left in the battery, but slowly but surely everything's starting to happen. Did you say you've never taken the Yankee off the furler?
Pardon?
That Yankee's never been off the furler.
Never off the French.
So your Genoa is on a wire stay, Hanks. Your lightweight Genoa is on Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that's interesting. So the sails that are up there now, those two, interestingly, you'll see the forward one is like a Yankee. It's high cut. It's not that big, and
Is it the official fairway?
official farewell. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Watch out the boat.
Watch out for the coast. Keep it at the back, James. Keep it. No. That's it. Okay.
Within my style to run aground wide.
No, you don't want to run aground again. Tapio touched the bottom slowly in the sandbank over the other side, but managed to get a buff of wind and get off again on the way in. So now he's happy to get going. So I'd expect to see the drone turn up anytime soon. Yep. So everything looks good. The sails look good. The rig's all squared away, ready to go. He's very happy to find that little problem. He's tied it up down below. He's got his lovely fireplace ready to go when he needs it again. He's got everything set. He had a good lunch, had a bit of a feed. Happy to be underway. And it's the stopover's been a lot longer than he thought, but he wasn't worried about that. Oop, he's gone down below and the wind vane's not on yet. So he's now heading for the beach. Rounding up slowly. So all his batten cars are working properly. He's got mostly Harkin fittings on the boat. That's okay. Yeah, he'll come up again in a minute. He knows he's not down for long. So here he comes. He gave that's all right. He knows where he's going. Tapio gave us a huge amount of film. We've got 22 3-minute rolls of Super 8 movie film. He's been really getting into it, and about 15-20 rolls of 35mm film. So there he is with his Super 8 camera. We'll come in here for a bit of a look. Get ready to wave, Jane. We're nearly on camera. Hello. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, right into the filming routine. So you're bound to see that on the film documentary we do. We're making 2 1-hour traditional digital documentary, and there'll be a 1-hour doco shot entirely on Super 8 film, and that'll go to all the film festivals around the world, we hope, if it's interesting and looks good. I'm sure it will be. Tapio's got a great story to tell. So stand by for that. I think it'll be a bit of an eye-opener for a lot of people to see that. A lot of people in the houses here. Kingston Beach is turning it on for the GGR. I've got to say, the car park's been full most of today. People coming down and waving. Came over to the breakwater. We took a few people out. What's that? Yeah, people on the balconies up there waving. Some people up on the balconies waving to you. They're watching live now. And yeah, oh, watch your head. Jeez. Too many distractions. Yep, up, there you go. Yeah, some of the houses up there have even got code flags up saying welcome Tapio, and we've had a few Finnish people come down. We had one chap down that came in from Finland, flew down to meet up and say good day, so we brought him out. So yeah, a lot of distractions today, but all good fun. Yep, they're all hooting away. So Tasmania and Hobart are just waking up to the GGR right now, and realising that there's a few people watching and thinking, wow, Tassie looks pretty cool. Yeah, Tapio said some nice houses up there. There certainly are. The real estate in Tasmania is relatively inexpensive compared to the rest of Australia, and so it's a place to come. There's a huge migration from the mainland of Australia, all moving down to Tassie. and it's a great lifestyle. Great lifestyle down here, big tourism place. Tourism numbers for Tasmania have gone up 20% in the last 12 months. That's climbing. There's a lot to do down here. So if you're thinking of coming to Tassie, it's not a bad place. Plenty of culture. We're moving along quite nicely now. So obviously Tapio's disappointed about the barnacles on the hull. We couldn't clean them off here because of biosecurity regulations, and he's got plans to do it as soon as he can on the way. As soon as he gets calm when he's offshore, he'll get down with a tin can and start scraping along the hull and try and knock them off, because it is going to create quite a bit of drag. So, yep. Harkin have been onto him as well about another jibe. Here we go. Now we get organised. Don't worry, no one's watching. your Optimus sailors and your 49ers and 470 sailing team in Finland are thinking, what the hell is he doing now? Where did he learn to sail? Oh, it's a big puff, that's why. We got a big puff coming in, and it was a big wind shift, so it wasn't really his fault. But he's going to start cranking it on now. So we'll speed up here a bit and see how we go. And he's got the main way sheeted out, so the boat really can get going. You can see all the the story with the anti-fouling on the bottom. Tapio actually ordered some super duper fancy ocean going anti-fouling, and apparently the wrong paint was applied to the hull, so he's pretty disappointed about that as well. That may have some impact. The Baltic Sea has got a high concentration of fresh water. It's not as salty, and there's very strong environmental standards, but higher than I believe higher than some parts of the world, so they have very low. Yeah, he's just saying he's happy he hasn't got the Jenica up with the Gus running around. So yeah, so the grade of paint that was put on the boat was a lot less than expected, and it was a surprise to Tapio. He only found out about that when he was at sea in the middle of the Southern Ocean, when he first noticed the barnacle infestation. So kind of bad luck. Oh, now the wind's dropped off again now. So this is typical of the Derwent. Those that watch the Sydney Hobart will know you come raging up Storm Bay, and then you hit the Derwent and the race can start again, because the weather's very fickle in here, and that makes it all very interesting. But anyway, he's going out into reasonable weather for the next few days, no big storms or anything, so he'll have a chance to settle down and see what he can do to try and keep up with ISTVAN and Susie. Yep. We'll see if we can get him. You're not meant to drink and drive, you know. Let me get in here. No, it's okay. So any last comments to your fans? I've only got the little mic. Shout it out.
Okay. Tähtihetki, loppumatka alkaa. Kotia kohti, homeward bound.
Okay, I'm driving and rightio. We've only got the little mic, so I haven't got the big mic boom. I hope you heard that. He just said he's heading home. That's the good news. So we'll just do a couple of donuts around the boat here, just to give you a look at what's going on. Boat looks good. He has his storm jib set up there permanently on the on that outer wire forestay, which is separate to the furling gear, and he puts his light weather genoas up there as well. So it's really quite a good setup. His rig is the strongest. Oh, can't hear. His rig is the strongest in the fleet. He's got massive rigging. He's got normal running backstays on the inner forestay there, and then he's got other running backstays that just connect to the rear lowers and the baby stay there, so he can really strap the rig down. So yeah, it's really quite good. Really quite good. Yep.
I said that for the youth sailors, you might mention that it's the same half-liter bottle around the world.
Okay, the junior sailors that are, the junior sailors that are watching, you to know that that's one bottle for the entire way around the world. So He's not getting into it heavily, it's just a bit of a ceremony, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Wouldn't be too concerned. Okay, Tapio's pulling the control line there for the wind pilot on the back. You'll see the vane there. The flip-flop vane is moving around. Oh, it's hooking up with his thing, his burgee, or his ensign rather, and he'll turn that around, and that controls the course that the boat is going to manage into the relevant wind. And at the moment it's running on the starboard quarter, so he'll get it around in a minute. When that's directly into the breeze, put it on the wind vane. Directly in the breeze, it'll stand up. There it comes. It's just coming into the breeze now. Now it's off the breeze. He'll hook up the tiller, and very shortly the wind vane will actually be steering the boat. You can just see him there now, about to put the control lines from the servo pendulum. That's the blade that's in the water. You'll see that rock back and forwards from side to side, and those control lines are going to steer the boat. So he's just hooking that up now. Make sure I don't hit it. So very shortly you'll see the wind vane is steering the boat, and that means Tapio can get back to concentrate on his drink, whatever that was. He's just hooking that up. Yep, he's just about done. Yep, there you go. He's quite happy with the wind pilot now. He was very miffed about it coming down the Atlantic. Couldn't get it to work right, had a few little issues and so on. But now everything seems to be good. He's still doing the job of that extra crew member that you don't have to feed, or you don't have to talk to them or get cranky with them or whatever, and you can just carry on and have some fun. So okay, well that's about it. We'll do one more pass and then bid Tapio a fond farewell, leave him to his solitude and the serenity of a huge challenge to now get all the way to Les Sables d'Olonne. He's on his way home now. It's more or less psychologically halfway, so that's a big boost, and the boat looks good. He's happy, looking fit and healthy. Says the food that he's got on board is good, the water's good, everything's fine. He just doesn't have an engine, and he's always got a dry bunk. He's had a dry bunk pretty much all the way around, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, he's really loving the ocean. Tapio's one of those guys that is right into history and tradition and just loves the sea. He's the quintessential sailor, and he's a little bit disappointed on some things for the race with his performance and so on, but at the end of the day he's loving the experience to be out here. I asked him a question off camera previously about the connection between his Whitbread race 35 years or so ago, when he was a lot younger. He was one of 2 watch leaders on board that boat, whether he was reflecting on that and his life in between then and now while he's going around here. And he sort of is, every now and then he looks back and think, wow, all those things that have happened in the last 35 years, and here he is doing it again. And it's similar in some ways but completely different. There's no cook on board, there's no engineer on board, there's no other captain, there's no navigator. He's it, that's all there is, so he's got to do the lot, and he's loving it. He's having living a dream. But he's certainly frustrated as well, because he knows that he was pushed for time. It took him 3 days to enter the race from the time he first heard about it. He thought, this is for me. He had a good look at it and entered, but then it was a race with time. He threw a lot of money at it, found the best boat, the perfect boat that he wanted. He liked the idea of the connections to Finland with Olin Stevens' design, all that sort of stuff, and he loves his boat, there's no question about that, but he knows he wasn't quite ready to go. It's all about planning, preparation and execution, and a couple of those things he didn't get quite right. So it begs the question, I'm not supposed to say this, and I haven't asked Tapio, and I've got no idea what he does, but I got a hunch. Well, let's just say I wonder what he'll be doing. Well, no, I'll put it to you this way. I can't wait to talk about it when he gets in from the conclusion of this race, when he's into Les Sables d'Olonne, and we find out, what's next, Tapio? What are you going to do next? Let's wait and see. But just for those that didn't know, there's another event on in 2022. So you never know. Stranger things have happened. He hasn't said anything, who knows? But he's still halfway through in this one, and he's got a long way to go, and he's got a huge challenge ahead of him, and he's got lots of good times to come, and we'll all look forward to seeing him when he gets back there. Certainly a beautiful looking boat. Okay, what do you reckon, Jane? I think we're done. We'll leave him to it. Yeah. Okay. Give him him a goodbye, and we'll see you in Les Sables d'Olonne, Tapio. Bye bye.
Bye.
Sail safe.
Been a pleasure to meet you.
Okay. I won't tell you what he just said.
What did he say?
Nothing. Okay. Au revoir. Okay, what a great guy. All right, Jane, I think we can wrap it up, and we'll, I'm not sure when the next live is. We'll do a tracker update probably in the next 24 hours before we hit the plane and fly back on Saturday. So, yeah, one last wave to Tapio. What a great guy he is. There's some real characters in this race. Okay, Jane, shut it down. See you later.